All right, so let's come on into our comfortable space. Come on into your mat. And I'm going to start sitting upright, so you can come along with me there if you want, or if you want to get onto your back or your belly, you know, you always have that option. All right, so come on into your place, sitting, lying, child's pose, whatever feels comfortable, most comfortable to you this morning. To let your physical body start to settle, start to arrive, even if you've just moved from one room to the other, just arriving in your space here. Letting all the parts of your body that are touching the ground, the mat, get a little heavier. So if you're sitting upright, like I am, then that's mostly your sit bones or maybe part of your outer leg, depending how you're sitting. If you're sitting on a block, then maybe the lower part of your thigh. Let your hands rest somewhere in your lap, let your face and the muscles around your forehead and eyes and cheeks and jaw, let them all soften. Let your eyelids get heavy, let your shoulders get heavy. Just start to settle into the breath. Don't try to control it, just try to watch it, try to see it, follow its path. You can take some nice slow deep breaths in and out. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear the music sputtering on and off in the background there. Relaxing the jaw, and just softening all around. And checking in with the head, noticing what's going on in there this morning. Just recognizing what thoughts are most present this morning, and just seeing if you can take the breath and just push that aside. Those dinging notifications, whether they're in your head or on your phone or computer somewhere, push them aside. Let the breath fill that space. Really just making time for yourself. Just stop, to settle, to breathe. Take another few rounds of breath here, just easy pace, but filling the lungs and filling the belly. And with your next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And then bring the palms together through, pausing at your heart center. And then using the next breath or two to fill the front of the head, focusing the thoughts into an intention, a dedication, a word, a phrase, a mantra, anything that helps you hone the scattering of the thoughts and try to settle them somewhat. Whenever you're ready, you can release the hands. And if you're on a block, maybe come off of it. And let's stretch the legs out long. Just give them a little shake if they were crossed. Sit up nice and tall. Again, the sit bones grounding, the spine long, the shoulders heavy. And then let's inhale both arms high. Flex the heels just slightly so the toes are pointing up toward the sky. And then as you exhale, open up to the right. Bring the right hand behind. And just as best you can, stay nice and tall. Just find a little bit of a twist. So it doesn't have to be a huge twist, but just starting to bring some awareness to the back body, the spine. Breathing here, making sure you're not holding the breath. Sometimes when we twist, it becomes really easy. We don't even realize we're holding the breath. Take another breath in, and then as you exhale, gently come back through center. Inhale the arms high again. And then as you exhale, open it up to the left. And that right hand can be on the top of the leg or the side of the leg. It can be used to add a little twist, a little torque there. Or just gently resting. Again, staying as tall as you can, breathing fully. Keeping that gentle flex through your toes. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, gently release and come back through center. Then bring the soles of the feet together. Come into your Baddha Konasana, bound angle. So scooch the heels and the pelvis close together. You can interlace your hands and just let them come underneath or around the tops of your toes. Let your knees open up to your degree. Soften down through the shoulders, but stay nice and tall through the spine. And just start to wake up a little bit through the inner thigh and the hip. You can give yourself a tiny rock side to side. Sometimes that just helps your body settle in, helps your hips kind of find their place. Breathing deeply here. You can let your eyes settle back heavy. And just letting your body settle in here. We're going to stay for a few more breaths. Let's take about 3 more full rounds of breath here. And then keeping a really nice long spine. So think about leading with your heart or your belly button. We're just going to take this forward a tiny bit to your degree. So some of you might walk your hands forward a lot more. Some of you might stay a lot more upright. But just increasing the intensity of the stretch a tiny bit. Trying to keep the shoulders heavy on your back. And again, think about almost leading a little bit with like a clover heart. You don't want to be like in a big arch, but just a little bit of that sensation of leading with the heart as you come forward and just feel the depth increase a little bit. Take a few breaths here. Just letting your body soften with each exhale. And then with your next inhale, come on all the way back up and let's open up the legs wide. Keep the heels flexed, toes are pointing either straight up to the sky or a little bit back toward your face. And then let's, without moving anywhere with your upper body, just sitting nice and tall though, flex your heels as strongly as you can. Feel them lift up off the ground and really feel the backs of your legs elongate. So I feel it all the way through the hamstring, through the back of the knee, and then all the way down through the Achilles tendon. So just sitting nice and tall, take another breath here, and then relax that flex. Keep them flexed, but just gently flex so that the heels are extended and the toes are straight up to the sky. And then take your right hand onto that right leg, bring the left fingertips high, take an inhale, feel the ribcage lift, and then as you exhale, just take that bend to the right, nice and easy, start to lengthen through that left side body. Try to keep that left side of your sit bone grounded. So if you feel, the bottom of your body coming up off the ground, just come out of the bend a tiny bit. Try to keep your heart and your rib cage facing toward the front of the room. Your gaze can too. And a few deep breaths here, just again letting the body settle into the pose, softening with each breath. Take another full breath here. And then use an inhale to come back up. Just pause, sitting nice and tall in the center, and then we'll take the other side. Bring the right fingertips high. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale, just take that bend. Letting your body take it to whatever degree, whatever depth it falls into this morning. Using the breath to soften everywhere. Your eyelids can get heavy here, or just let your gaze settle out somewhere in front. Take another full breath. And then use an inhale to come on back up. And then take your hands in front and just start to walk them forward. Maybe it's just an inch. Maybe for some of you it's several inches or more. But again, keeping the knees, keeping the feet flexed and keeping the knees as much as you can pointing up to the sky. So as you start to come forward, you might feel your legs rolling forward too. And you can actually just take your hands sort of backwards like I have them here and slide them underneath your knees so that as you start to lean your whole torso forward, again, leading with the heart, leading with the belly, your own forearms there can kind of act as a brace so that your knees don't roll forward. And then you're still getting that nice stretch through the inner thigh, maybe through the backs of the legs, a little bit the hamstring. And just taking your time here. Maybe some of you come down to forearms and you're able to just kind of settle here. If you come down forward and you want to let your head rest, grab a block, or you can stack your fists, letting your head rest so the back of the neck gets soft. Let's take another 2 rounds of breath here. And wherever you are, start to walk yourself back all the way upright, and then just slowly bring your legs back toward one another. Maybe you give them a little shake. Just releasing through those muscles, tendons, through the joints that were extended. And then let's come onto our table. So however you get there, you can cross over your ankles and knees. Maybe you need to turn your situation on your mat. And let's come first right into our downward facing dog. We'll come back to our table. But let's tuck the toes, lift the hips, and start in a little bit shorter dog and just walk out from side to side. Bringing your breath and your awareness to the backs of the legs, lengthening. But also starting by grounding through your fingertips. The ball joints and the heel of your hand, feel the weight equally distributed there. Take another full breath. And then drop back down to your knees and come down onto your forearms. So make sure that your elbows come right underneath your shoulders and that your forearms are extended straight forward. So they're not out or in. And your palms are spread nice and wide, and then tuck the toes and lift the hips, come back up into your dolphin variation of the downward dog. So depending where your feet are to start, if you haven't moved them, then you're in your same length of downward dog, and that's great. So think about grounding down through the elbows and sending your heart back toward the back of your mat. And then as much as you can, lift the hips to the sky. See if you can walk your toes in an inch or two. You'll intensify the feeling in your shoulders, the strength that you're using there to keep yourself in this pose. Keep grounding down through the elbows, the forearms, the palms. Keep lifting the hips to the sky and at the same time dropping the heels. So lengthening all the way through the backs of the legs. Maybe take another inch or centimeter or just step in. Take another full breath and then go ahead and drop back down to your knees. Come up to your table, And let's take our right fingertips to the sky. Inhale and open up. Take another breath in here, and then exhale and thread that arm through. Let that shoulder, the back of that right arm go all the way down, pressing gently the back of that hand onto the earth so you can feel that stretch all the way through the backs of the shoulder blades. And maybe a gentle twist through the spine. Take another breath here. And then let's unwind that, release, send the right fingertips back up. And then release them down, and we'll switch sides. Bring the right hand underneath your gaze. And bring the left fingertips high, opening up through the rib cage. Another inhale, and then as you exhale, thread that through. Come all the way down, pressing the back of that left hand onto the mat, onto the earth. And just breathing, softening here. Again, letting the body settle in. Take another full breath. And then release, send the left hand back up. Open it up. And then exhale, come on back down. Come back into your neutral table. So shoulders over your wrists and hips over your knees. Engaging the core here, so making sure that the abdominal muscles are engaged, protecting the lower back. And then go ahead and take yourself through some cat-cows. Drop the heart and lift the tail. Bring the gaze forward as you inhale, grounding down through the palms to help lift that heart. And then reversing the breath as you drop the crown of the head and round through the spine. Just following your breath a few times in each direction. Beautiful. And go ahead and add in any other movements here that you like, that feel good to you normally or this morning, and that can be wagging the tail, glancing over the opposite shoulder. We're just adding in some larger movements, sending the hips back to the heels, the shoulders over the wrists, making that, linking them together into that nice serpentine movement. And then you can reverse the direction if you're making a serpentine or any kind of circular motion. And like always, just noticing where your body feels a little tighter this morning, where it feels like maybe a little achy or just different than normal. Or maybe you're noticing you don't have any aches or crooks or areas, and that's amazing. There's usually some place where we tend to take all the stress and the strain. You know, for a lot of us, it's the lower back, the tops of the shoulders, the common areas for all of that. And then come back into your neutral table. Just take a pause there, take a breath. And then let's bring some length here. Step the left toes back and the right fingertips forward. Bring your gaze either right down at your mat or toward the front edge of the mat. So don't follow those right fingertips. You want to keep the neck nice and long. And then come back to your core and make sure that you're still engaging those muscles. And then if you like, lift the back toes, flex that heel, dial down the pinky toe side so that your hips are squared. We don't want to open up through the hips. We want to keep them nice and flat there. And then lengthen even more, fingertips forward, heel toward the back of the room, lengthening. Take another breath in, and then as you exhale, bring your elbow and knee together as you round through the spine and engage the core muscles. Inhale, come back to your length. When you come back to your length, make sure you don't come into an arch. You want to come back into your nice flat back. Inhale, round and bring everything into center. Exhale, send everything long. One more time, inhale and round. And exhale, send everything long. Pause here. Take another breath in. Maybe bend that left leg, reach around with the right hand, grab the top of the foot or the ankle, and just add a gentle heart opener, grounding through that left palm. Beautiful. Take one more breath, and then as you come out and just very gently release, come back to your length. Or maybe you were there all along. Take another breath in, and then exhale, bring everything down. Take an inhale into your cow, and then reverse the breath into your cat. And then send the hips all the way back to your heels. Bring the hands back by your heels as well. Come into a child's pose, or maybe even a rabbit variation where your crown of the head comes onto the earth. And you get that exaggerated rounding through the spine. Either place to just find that lengthening through the back, the lower back body. Take another inhale. And then exhale, come on back up, come on back into your table. And we'll take the other side, step the right toes back, bring the left fingertips forward, gaze to the front edge of your mat. And just find your sort of neutral place here to start. So find that core, find all 5 toes dialing down. So sometimes you maybe just put that big toe down and you have a tendency to open up. So make sure that you're dialing down that hip. And then lengthen everything, ground down through that right palm. If you want, when you're ready, lift the back heel, flexing the heel, squaring the hips, lengthening forward, lengthening back. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, round, elbow to knee, engaging through the core, and then release everything long. Inhale, round everything in. Exhale, send everything long. One more time, inhale, round everything in. Exhale, send everything long. Pause here, or maybe add the heart opener, bending that right knee, reaching back with the left hand, gently sending that heel to the side, grounding through the right palm, and just opening through the heart. Take one more breath in, and then very gently release. Come back to your length, and then bring everything down. Again, send the hips back to the heels, bring the hands back by the heels as well. Come into your child's and just take a nice deep breath or two, settling back in there. And then come on back into your table. We're going to come back into our sort of, I don't even know what this pose is called, the stretch, back of the arm stretch. So bring your left palm underneath your gaze, bring your right fingertips high. Inhale and open it up. And then exhale, thread that right arm through. Come on to the back of that shoulder, back of the left hand. And again, gently pressing the back of that hand down to increasing the stretch. And then either stay here and keep breathing, or add the balance, shifting the weight onto that right shoulder and right knee, stepping the left toes back a little bit, and then maybe lifting the back leg, flexing or point flexing that left foot. Keep pressing the right hand onto the ground as you maybe add the left fingertips high as well. Take another 2 breaths here. Some of you may want to go even further and add a bind, bending that right foot and grabbing the tops of the toes. If you are there, gently release it. And then slowly bring everything back down. Take another breath in the twist. And then we'll release. Bring the right hand back up to the sky. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, bring it back down. We'll take the other side. Bring the right hand underneath your gaze, so the left fingertips high. Inhale. And then exhale, thread them through. And so come on into your pose first. Feeling solid, feeling balanced, pressing the back of that left hand. And if you want to take this into the balance, start to shift the weight. Onto that left shoulder, left knee, step the right toes back. And then when you're ready, you can lift the right toes. Keep pressing the back of that left hand, maybe add the right fingertips. And letting your gaze settle. Maybe you want to add the bind. You can bend that right knee, and reach back for the top of that right foot. If you have the bind, gently release it. Come on back up, and then slowly everyone bring everything back down. Take another breath here in your twist. And then release, come through, send that left hand all the way up, open it up, and then release and bring it back down. Come back into your table and just take a breath through your cat-cow. And then let's come back into our downward dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips. Maybe this time you walk your feet back if you were in a shorter dog and come into more of your regular length dog. Again, you can walk this out side to side, pressing through the palms. And then coming into stillness, just keeping the hips lifted, the heels getting heavy. Taking a few more breaths. And then stepping your feet together at the back of the mat. Take an inhale, lift the right leg high. Just float it up. You can open up that hip if you want, or you can keep it square. Take another breath in. And then exhale and step that right foot all the way forward. Drop the back knee and inhale everything high. Take another breath in. And then exhale, release. Send that right foot back up to the sky. And then exhale it down. Inhale, take the left leg high, float it up. You can open up the hip or keep it square. Whatever helps your body open up more. Take another breath in. And then exhale, release. Step that left foot forward, drop the back knee. Inhale everything high. And then exhale, release. Send that left foot back up to the sky, three-legged dog. Inhale it up and exhale it down. Coming back to the right side, inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step it forward, drop the back knee. Inhale, come on up. Lifting the heart, softening the shoulders, melting into the hips. Exhale, release. Right leg high. Exhale it down. Inhale, take the left leg high. Exhale it forward. Drop the back knee. Inhale, lifting the heart, melting the shoulders and hips. Exhale, release. Send the left foot high. And release it down. Let's take that one more time. Inhale the right. Exhale, step it forward. Drop the back knee. One breath, inhale up. Exhale, release. Right leg goes high, or of course, you can modify, just step it back to meet the left foot. Next, inhale, take the left leg high. Exhale it forward. Drop the back knee. Inhale, lift and melt. And then exhale, release. Send the left leg high. And exhale, release it back down. And then let's take the right leg high. Inhale, float it up. Exhale, step it forward, drop the back knee. This time, come on up. Send the arms high, lift the heart, and then exhale the hands together through your heart center. So you're staying nice and tall over this left knee, not dropped in at all. And we're gonna twist to the right. Left elbow over right knee, coming into your prayer twist. So pressing the palms together at the heart center, filling the belly with breath. Really twisting the heart. Letting that right shoulder come onto your back. Take 2 more breaths here. And then exhale, release. Send the arms high. Lift from the heart. Inhale everything up. And then exhale, release the hands to either side of that right foot, tuck the back toes and lift that back knee, and then turn the other edge of that back foot down. So keep the bend in that front knee, and with the right hand on the earth, either fingertips or fist, or maybe you have a block here. Send the left fingertips to the sky and just open up to the left, rounding through both heels. And take another breath in, and then exhale, release both hands back down. This time bring them inside that right foot, drop the back knee, and heel toe the right foot a little closer to the right edge of your mat, coming into your lizard. I always turn to face forward in lizard. Not sure why, I guess I can see you this way. So trying to make sure that that right knee stays nice and vertical, that it doesn't open up yet. So that right shoulder, right knee stay connected. Palms are grounding. Maybe some of you come down to forearms if you're able. Otherwise, stay up on your palms or even on blocks here to give yourself a little bit more lift. And just as much as you can, let your body start to soften here. Awesome. Finding a little bit of lift from the heart center. Gaze is out in front. Take another breath in. And then go ahead and let that knee drop open. You can keep the foot flat, or you can roll onto the outer edge and turn those toes open for even more openness through that hip, the outer right hip. Keeping onto your palms or blocks or forearms, wherever your palms were, your hands where it can stay. And you can give a tiny bit of movement to this, just a little bit of sort of side to side. That might help your body just get into the depth a tiny bit more. And then stay here. If you want to add the twist, bring the right hand to the top of that right knee or thigh, and turn your heart, your rib cage to the right. Right shoulder blade is heavy on your back. And if anyone wants to add the quad stretch, you can bend that left leg, reach around with the right fingertips, and just gently moving that foot toward your back body to your degree. And then gently releasing that left leg if you had the quad stretch. Coming back through the twist, and then let's tuck the back toes and lift the hips as you walk your hands over to the left, coming into a wide-legged stretch. So you might just need to adjust your feet a little bit. Toes in, heels out. Come high to fingertips and lengthen through the spine so your tailbone is reaching in one direction, the crown of your head in the other, creating as much length there as you can. And then as you exhale, drop the crown of the head, come on into your fold. You can keep your hands right underneath your gaze, or you can walk them out to the sides, to the outer edges of your feet or the big toes. Just kind of a comfort thing, wherever your hands are comfortable there. But just really dropping in here, feeling the outer edges of your feet grounding you, and really the backs of your legs. Maybe a little bit of the outer hamstring here. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then bring the hands back underneath your gaze. Come back to your fingertips, back to your length. Take an inhale, and then just walk your hands, pivot your feet back to the front of your mat. So front toes forward, pivot onto the ball joint of that back foot, hands on either side of that right foot, and then bend the right knee, drop the back knee. Come back into your low lunge. Inhale the arms high, or bring them to your heart center, or you can come to cactus arms, or keep them on your knee. Lots of options here, or keep them on either side of the foot. We'll take a few more breaths here. Grounding into that right heel to guide the right hip back a little bit. Using your muscle energy there. Take another breath in. And then slowly start to send the hips back, flexing the heel, toes to the sky, Maybe you walk your hands back a little bit, coming into your hamstring. So now dropping your gaze, moving your nose toward your knee or your shin there, and flexing this right foot as much as you need to really feel the lengthening through the back of that leg. And take another breath in. And then release that, come back forward, tuck the back toes and lift that back knee and step the back foot in a few inches coming into your pyramid. So you might need to readjust your feet, make sure that they're about hips width and your heels are grounded, the toes are both facing mostly forward. And then coming to either fingertips or blocks as you lengthen. Maybe bring that right hand into that right hip crease to help guide it back a little bit, squaring so that the hips are nice and flat. Take another breath in your length, and then as you exhale, drop the crown of the head, drop the gaze to the back of the mat. Keep guiding that right hip back. Keep that on the top of your awareness as your right hamstring softens with each exhale. Another full breath. And then just step that right foot back, step the left foot back, come back into your downward facing dog. Take an inhale, an exhale. Just settle in here, take another full breath. And go ahead and drop the knees, bring the hands toward the heels, bring the forehead toward the earth in your child's pose, let the shoulders get heavy. And just take a nice deep breath or two or three, softening and settling in there. Take another full breath. And then come back through your table. Take an inhale through your cat-cow. And then tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into your downward dog. Take an inhale, lift the left leg high. And then exhale, step it forward, drop the back knee, inhale the arms high, lift the heart, and then exhale the hands together through heart center. And twist to the twist to the left, right elbow over left knee. The opposite side that we just did. So dropping into your twist, leading with the heart, pressing the palms into one another, and then filling the belly with the biggest breaths that you can. And take one more inhale, and then exhale, release, come back to center. Send the arms high, lift the heart straight up. Another breath in, and then exhale, release the hands. I forget where we went from here. Let's step the left leg back and inhale it high. And then exhale, step it forward again. Drop the back knee. I can't remember where we went. We came into some kind of a lunge. Maybe we came into our lizard here. So bringing both hands inside that left foot, heel toe the left foot a little to the left edge of your mat. Keeping that knee nice and vertical, the left shoulder and left knee connected. Grounding through the palms, or maybe your hands are on blocks, or maybe some of you come down to your forearms here. Don't forget that both sides are different, so just because you did forearms on one side doesn't mean that you'll naturally fall into it on this side. Just softening in here, keeping some awareness in that left heel so that the left hip is guiding back and the muscles on your left side are engaged there. Taking another breath. And then we'll let that left knee start to come away from the shoulder. You can keep that left foot grounded to start, or go ahead and roll onto the outer edge of that left foot. Turn the toes open a little bit toward 11 o'clock. And just settle in to the deeper opening in the hip. And stay right here, or you can add the twist to the left, bringing that left hand on the top of that left knee, twisting the heart to the left, grounding into that right palm, left shoulder blade heavy on your back. And then if you want to add the quad stretch here, you can bend that right leg, and with the left hand reach around, grab the top of the foot of the ankle, and just very gently start to move that right leg toward your back body. If you're in the quad stretch, take another breath there, and then very gently release that. Come all the way back around, tuck the back toes and lift that back leg, and walk your hands all the way over to the right, coming into your wide-legged stretch. Again, toes in, heels out. Come high to fingertips, and then bring your hands to your hip crease or to your waist, and inhale, come all the way high. And then we'll come into a shoulder opener. So you can bring your hands behind and either interlace your fingers, or you can grab opposite elbows, come into reverse namaste. If you have a strap or towel or anything nearby, grab that as a way to expand the length of your arms if the shoulders are tight. And then when you're ready, take an inhale, lift the heart, and then exhale, come back down into your fold. Letting the arms drop overhead. Whatever configuration you chose. And just letting the shoulders settle in there. Open up. Crown of the head is heavy toward the earth, and the gaze is now to the back of the room. Take another full breath here. And then go ahead and release whatever arm configuration you had. Bring your hands back underneath your gaze. And then we'll walk back toward the front of your mat. So pivot your left foot back to the front, walk the hands forward on either side of that foot, and then come on to the ball joint on that left foot. Actually, we forgot to do our easy twist. So bring the right foot back down, ground the outer edge of that, and left hand outside that foot, either fingertips or fist, or if you have a block, and send the right fingertips high. Opening up to the right, grounding into that left heel. And sending the fingertips high, twisting the torso open. Take another breath in. And exhale, release. Bring both hands back down to either side. And then drop the back knee. Actually, tuck the toes and lift the back knee. Send that left foot back to your downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Lift the hips, drop the heels as you exhale. And the next inhale, take the left leg high, float it up. Exhale, step it forward. Step the back toes in a little bit, coming into pyramid on your left. So just adjusting your feet, making sure your heels can both be grounded. Otherwise, walk that back foot in a little bit. If your foot's too far back, that heel's not going to reach all the way down. And then come high to fingertips or blocks here. Left hand and the left hip crease to help guide that back just a little bit. And then inhale and lengthen. As you exhale, drop into your fold. Drop the crown of the head and drop the gaze. And just breathing into that left hamstring, sending breath and softness. Take another inhale. And then exhale, release, step that left foot back, step the right foot back. Take an inhale in your downward dog. And then exhale, drop back down to your table. And then just walk yourself all the way forward, coming onto your belly. Come all the way down. Bring your arms by your side, turn one cheek. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Lost track of the time. And then turn the opposite cheek. And then come back to center. Let's come into a locust pose. So squaring from the hips down, the tops of the thighs, the tops of the knees and the feet. And then bring the hands onto the lower back and interlace the fingers or grab your strap. Bringing your shoulder blades together on your back, squeezing that imaginary tennis ball. And then when you're ready, start to lift the heart. Send the knuckles to the back of the room, lift the toes. And then breathing here with everything lifted, back body working. Gaze to the front edge of the mat. Just make sure that head's not too lifted. We want to keep the back of the neck nice and long. 2 more breaths. One more inhale. And then exhale, gently release everything. Turn one cheek. Soften. And then turn the opposite cheek with the next breath. You can give your hips a little sway, side to side. And then bringing your hands by your heart, just gently push everything back to a child's pose. Knees are together, hips are heavy, forehead to the earth, and hands can come back by your heels. Breathing into the back body. And then let's take the next few breaths in a little bit wider knee version. So you bring your knees as wide as your body feels comfortable. You can start with them inside the width of the mat and see how that feels. You can walk your hands forward or stack your palms or stack your fists. You can turn one cheek. So find the place where your body can settle in here. And if you need, bring them wider. If you need, bring them closer so that you're getting that sensation in the inner thigh, opening. Take about 5 more breaths here. So we're not going to stay for too long, but just long enough to get into it. And take another deep breath in and out. And then we'll slowly start to come out. So bringing the weight onto your forearms, start to lift the hips and walk the knees back toward one another. And then slowly come all the way back down onto your belly. Come into your Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath your shoulders, forearms extended forward. And then gently grounding down through the elbows, lifting the belly, lifting the heart, soften down through the shoulders. Bring the gaze straight out ahead. And just take 2 more breaths here, lengthening, softening. And gently release. Bring the hands back by the heart and push yourself all the way back again to a child's pose. 1 deep breath here. And we'll make our way to our back. So just shifting the weight to one side, swinging your legs out in front, and come all the way down to your back. And set yourself up for a bridge pose. So starting with your feet, make sure that they're parallel and about hips distance. So you don't want them super wide, like as wide as the mat. You want to make sure that you're not pigeon-toed or toes turned out. And make sure you can feel the backs of your heels with the fingertips. And then start to ground through the lower back. So notice you probably could slip your hand underneath your lower back. It's the natural curve. So we want to take an inhale and reverse that and ground the lower back. And then as you exhale, ground down through the heels and lift the hips. Walk the shoulder blades toward one another. Maybe interlace the hands. And then engaging the quadriceps, the glutes, and the breath. Keep the hips lifted for 3 more breaths. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly walk the shoulder blades apart as you come down 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly. Coming all the way down, bringing the soles of the feet together, come into your Supta Baddha Konasana. Knees come wide. Hands can rest on the tops of the thighs or just on the ground next to. Let the face soften, the eyelids can get heavy here. Take another deep breath. And then as you guide the knees back toward one another, hug them into your chest. Try to keep the lower back grounded as you let the knees get heavy toward your rib cage. And then open them wide, coming into your happy baby. So sending the feet to the sky, nice and flat. Grab the outer edges or the big toes with your peace fingers. And then to your degree, just let your knees fall toward the earth. Keeping your shoulders heavy, keeping your tailbone heavy. So notice if you tend to roll back, try to keep the tailbone nice and grounded. And just let the hips open up. Again, let the shoulders get heavy. Consciously think about letting them get heavier. Soften the face, relax the jaw. And release and bring the knees back toward each other, back into the center. And then let's come into an inversion for about 8 to 10 breaths. So you can come into legs up. If you're near a wall, scoot your mat over, or you don't even need a mat. Maybe just bring your legs straight up the wall, and or with a block underneath the lower back is a great restorative version. Just reversing the blood flow here, letting the arms come by your sides. Again, the face gets soft, muscles on the forehead, around the eyes, the cheeks, and especially the jaw. Them all soften, let the eyelids get heavy. Let your body just soften in here. Come back into the breath and just check back in with the head. When you stop moving and slow down, notice if the thoughts pick back up, and that's normal. Let's see if you can bring the breath back to a little bit more of the front of your thoughts and of your head. Take another inhale here, and then we'll gently release. You can just lift the hips to remove the block, bring the knees together into center, and then we'll drop them over to the right, coming into a spinal twist. Try to get both shoulders onto the mat, and then maybe bring the gaze to the left and the left arm out like a wing. Take another full breath on this side. And then come back through center. And bring the knees to the left. The right shoulder heavy as you bring your gaze to the right, and that right arm out like a wing. and softening. And take another full breath. And come back through center and prepare for your Shavasana. And give your knees another hug in, or any other last movements. And then as you come into your Shavasana, extending everything long, bringing the heels to the corners of your mat, the arms extending long by your sides, or a little bit away from your sides. Try maybe not to have them touching your body, but a little bit away. In the middle of your head, grounded, shoulders getting heavy, elbows, backs of your hands. Maybe take an inhale through the nose, send it out through the mouth. With that open mouth exhale, letting your whole body get a little heavier, a little softer, letting all the muscles relax. And starting to bring some awareness back to your physical body and to your breath. Lengthening your inhale, deepening your exhale. And then with your next breath in, lengthen the arms overhead. Breathing in deeply. As you exhale, hug the knees into your chest. Give them a nice tight squeeze, maybe a little rocking side to side, some small circles, massaging out the lower back. And then when you're ready, dropping the knees to one side, pause there, take another deep full breath. And then when you're ready, making your way back up to a comfortable upright. And bring the hands together at the heart center. And just bringing back to the front of your mind with the next breath or two, your intention or dedication, your word or phrase or mantra, your focus of thought. And let's honor those thoughts by bringing our hands to our crown, to our throats, honoring our words, our hearts, honoring our souls, and the light that shines in each and every one of us. Namaste.
Thank you, guys.